Yeah, well, actually,
Go ahead.
yeah, one winter, Walter, Paul, and I went to a camp show in Hartford with the idea that the deal was, if one of us buys one, we're all three gonna buy one. There was like a snowstorm and nobody's at the thing, so we worked like this fantastic deal out. And then, it was good for the kids for like 5 years, so we bought three at the same time. And then when we went to sell it, those were real hot commodities.
Really?
We got dozens of calls that wanted to buy it. Just wanted to get rid of it.
Did the other two guys get rid of theirs around the same time?
Paul got rid of his like probably 5 or 6 years after us. Walter just got rid of his
Did he really?
last year. So
What's Paul's last name?
Conopask,
We don't. What's his wife's name?
Stacy.
We're
friends with them.
You're still friendly with them?
We're going on the river cruise with them.
So where did you go camping? Where did you go camping with your tent trailer?
Oh, well, the first camping was that George was going to take the boys camping. And,
Good idea.
And I don't know what we had then. I picture you guys sleeping in a pickup truck or something, but we never had a pickup truck. But anyway, so I said, well, how come it's just the boys going? I said, what's the matter with the girls going and me? So we went and I think we had a Volkswagen bus.
Oh, that was another embarrassing part of my childhood. Being in the slower vehicles, please keep right. Remember, we'd be going to Vermont and that darn thing could barely go up the hill and you thought you were going to start going backwards. Oh my God, that was embarrassing.
It had 36 horsepower.
Yeah.
It literally had 36 horsepower.
Yeah.
Those old Volksies.
Okay, so you were
So
saying
anyway,
about
we went-
Volkswagen for the first camping trip?
We went camping this one time down to Gay City or someplace, and gee, we loved it. I forgot. I
It
don't.
was we. Fine we.
So anyway, later we decided to get the camper, and we had a wonderful
Awning,
Awning,
the tent
yeah.
thing that came off of it.
yeah, we call that our.
Well, it had a screened-in porch, and then it had an awning off of that.
Yeah.
It was quite the
That
setup.
was good.
Have they renamed Gay City?
No.
No. No.
Grow up.
Uncool. Unfriend.
Dislike.
So anyway, I really like that trailer.
And we ended up going to-
What I like getting away from the telephone and the TV,
Yeah.
and just being out and enjoying nature. And later, Daddy and I had a Ford, what do you call that? Van, not a van.
Oh yeah, the tan van, whatever that was.
Yeah. And we went to Florida once, and we camped down there, and there's these people in these big elaborate things watching TV. We're taking a walk around the area, you know. I said, I don't call that camping. You know, you gotta have TV on the premises.
So when did George start taking the boys on these crazy bike trips camping?
What
Oh
was
yeah,
it?
the bike trips. Yeah, I always forget
I
the
was in
sequence
I was
of
in
that.
I was in college when we went on the first
The
one.
first one
I
where
think
you
I was a
guys were
freshman at
loaded
Camp
down
Winnick.
with all the pots and pans and all that stuff. Was that
I was a
you
freshman at Camp
and-
Winnick.
You
It was
were
me.
a freshman then?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
you and Pops?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and you got as far as Mount Tom?
Yep.
Okay, and then the next one, who was
So that
it?
was 68.
That must have been 68 because I'm almost sure I was a freshman. I must have just finished between freshman and sophomore year must have been.
So does that make it?
Because I remember we met one of my buddies from Camp Winnick driving, so that's how I
So if
remember.
you were 19,
Yeah,
that
I
would
was
been like
19.
69
Yeah.
maybe?
Because our first one was 72, I think. Before 8th grade.
Oh, so you never went with either of these guys?
No.
So when you went, it was just you and Pops?
Right, because I was working on Cape Cod at that time then.
So so after your aborted trip, you went on a successful trip. Did you and Pops go like all the way to Vermont?
No, that was it for me.
Oh, that was it. Oh,
That
okay.
was it. I had to go.
Then it took them a couple of years to regroup because
Right.
we didn't go again until 72.
Right.
Yeah, I had to go
Oh,
pick
yeah.
him up at.
Because he probably wasn't available and we were probably too young
Yeah.
or
But
something.
when
Yeah.
you went, you had those panniers, right? The
Yeah.
Yeah.
wire so that you could go all the way up into Canada, right?
Yeah, we didn't take a hatchet and stuff like that. These guys were carrying everything but the kitchen
What did
sink.
you say?
It was unbelievable.
Pannier bags.
Well,
What are they called?
Pannier.
Saddlebags?
Saddlebags,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Back, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they had canned
Yeah.
stuff and.
You would have
So-
swore they didn't sell food
so-
between here and
So you went in '72, and it was at the time you went into Canada, and then we picked
did
him up
too.
in Burlington one
Yeah,
time.
We started in Burlington.
Oh, you
'Cause
started?
remember the first picture, Grampy's there with his bike.
Oh,
That's
okay,
just
like as if he's going.
Right,
yeah.
right. So that was 72. That was Burlington home.
Oh, okay.
Then the
So
next year, I think we started in Connecticut.
Went to Montreal,
Montreal.
and then back to Burlington.
Burlington.
You guys went out to Montreal one time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow, I didn't know
so
that.
those were consecutive years,
Yeah.
yeah, I think so.
and,
And
those
the-
were the only two you did.
Then you went
Me and
after
Pops
that.
went to Maine. Were you in Maine in like
I was in
74?
Maine, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you came up into there, huh?
You went the most times,
Yeah.
yeah, but, the first time I drove them to Burlington and they came home. The next time they went to Montreal and I had to pick them up in Burlington. Finally, I said, look, you guys are going on a bike trip. I'm not gonna be your chauffeur, you know?
Spirit.
Laid down the line.
man up.
Yeah.
Man up and do a round trip.
Bike a few hundred more miles.
Yeah.
Gee. So,
Well, but when you went to Maine, you must not have done a round trip. Did we go up to Maine and pick them up?
we
I remember riding back through Massachusetts because we got caught in a rainstorm and we ended up in a hotel. We stopped in a hotel in Ware, Massachusetts. We weren't planning on staying in a motel, but we
Yeah.
got rained out. So we're coming back.
Did you
So
think-
you might have hauled us to Maine.
We must
You
have.
think so?
Yeah, because I don't think we don't even went up
That'd be a
down
long
the road
ride,
too
yeah.
far.
Yeah.
Well, and then one time, didn't you stop at Lake Champlain where my aunt and uncle had the place, Alice?
That was one of our trips.
That was one of your
The
trips.
Montreal trip.
I think that must have been Montreal, because that was North
Yeah,
Europe.
did I go that far to pick you up?
No, you picked us up in Burlington.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many miles would you bike a day?
About 60 to 75, but it was through the mountains, and he was pretty young, too. It was a pretty good effort, actually.
It's a lot of hills out there.
72, yeah, you were only 13 years old,
Yeah,
right?
going
Yeah,
Eighth grade.
yeah.
Yeah.
So 60 to 75, I think, is what we average. Would you agree with that?
Yep. Yep.
So you camp and then
Yep.
Camp, yep.
Yeah.
Biggest problem was dogs. There's some pretty mean dogs out there in the country.
Oh, they'd be chasing you on the
Yeah,
bikes.
so we had little cans of mace and then the bike pump.
Yeah, well, yeah. Remember I got my taste of mace because we're going down a hill and the dogs are chasing him. Unfortunately, he's in front of me, and I had the bright idea of spraying the dog. I didn't realize there's a little tailwind. So I'm bending over the dogs.
Every man for himself.
Now, what about the bike pump? You mean like
Oh, you whack him in
that
the
as a
nose.
weapon?
Oh, yeah, because it was right at your hand, so you can whack him in the nose.
Oh, wow.
There's some wild dogs in.
Did it happen that much?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Probably once a trip there was a close call.
With packs of them, it wouldn't be one dog,
Yeah,
too.
that was
There'd
the
be like
problem.
4 or 5 wild
Oh,
dogs,
wow.
or
Jeez.
loose dogs.
Farm
That's
dogs,
But
yeah.
they're
scary.
chasing after you, yeah.
I wouldn't like that. Now, did you guys have a pup tent
Yeah, the orange pump tent.
Yeah.
for 3 people?
And I remember sleeping in a farmer's. Remember, Dad would ask farmers if we could camp in their.
Yeah.
Not, I don't know if we did that every time, but I remember camping in a field.
Do we still have that orange pump tent?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Well, he loved those bike trips though.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
wow.
was fun. It was
That
good.
was a treat for him.
Yeah.
Well, and he would take a bike, and Bob was always saying that that bike that you had for a while,
Mm-hmm.
you still have, that he put all this money into, and he could ride it up the wall. I mean, he was such a mechanic, he could.
Yeah, the
special
gear
gear.
ratios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still have that, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean,
The-
is that the one you
the
still
blue
ride?
bike. Until I just bought a bike a couple months ago. But yeah,
So
Have
when
you
did
got
that?
your new bike yet?
you got a new bike.
Oh, yeah?
But you were riding your dad's bike up until 2
Yeah.
months
I
ago.
say, when did he get that?
1971. 19. Let's see. On the like 71.
So
71.
40 years.
That was a real
Yeah.
expensive bike for the day.
Oh, yeah, that was the
That
Cadillac
was
of
like
bikes.
the Cadillac of bikes.
Yeah, because you would take it into the bike shops and they'd go,
Yeah, they
oh
thought it
my
was pretty
gosh,
cool.
what,
Yeah.
what is this? It was
Yeah.
like. it was
Were they
incredible.
impressed by it? I mean,
Yeah.
was it good
Yep.
workmanship?
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, the place that I just bought the bike 2 months ago, I brought it in there. I forgot why. Maybe I was taking some equipment off, and the guy looked at. He did a double take, and he admired things like the tubing. You know, it's just they don't do it like that anymore. The
Yeah.
way they weld the tubes together. He thought it was pretty cool.
I
So-
guess the newer bikes must be like a lot lighter and stuff, right? Or
Later, yeah.
more
Yeah.
aerodynamic.
Yeah.
Well, Daddy was constantly working on that bike. He would change the gears and whatever
Yeah.
things to make it easier to ride or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Whatever he could afford to do for a
A
dollar per
dollar
leaf that
week.
week.
Yeah.
Tell about his the friend that he had from down the street. Kid.
The Terry Donnelly story.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
he worked the swing shift, right?
So Pops would be hanging this picture of him standing in the garage. He'd be working in the garage, working on something, and Terry Donnelly was like 4 years old, and he'd come up during the day because Pops was working at whatever noon or whatever. And then Terry told Pops one time he was his only friend that didn't go to school.
That's cute.
That's cute.
And other times, some of the other kids would come up and say, "Can George come out to play?" Or
Well, what shift would he work?
3 to 11.
3 to midnight.
Three to midnight.
midnight.
Yeah.
So he left the house at 2:30.
Unless he was
Got
mad
home
at.
at
Oh
whatever.
man, yeah. It's just- yeah.
What's this?
What happened then?
Did you talk about only seen him mad once? Didn't you say that
What
earlier?
was he mad about?
Oh,
I
when he.
remember, the maddest I ever saw was when he shook Larry to death on the stairs or in the living room.
What happened?
I forget it. There were
I
so
would
many
be my
things.
charming self.
I do remember one time a big discussion about whether it was going to be okay for you to wear those short black pants, like with white socks on, like Elvis Presley had,
That was the style.
Yeah, and they were really not into
Oh,
you
yeah. I remember that.
sporting that look.
Those white, being an altar boy with short pants and white socks. Oh my God, we're talking radical.
But what were you going to say about the? Oh yeah. Oh.
When the teacher called home,
Oh.
the English Miss Maloney called home.
Ooh, about you?
Yeah, I misbehaved that day.
What was the word?
What was that?
I was the most insolent student.
Oh yeah. The
Never
most
had.
insolent student she ever had.
She's only like 24, so how many students could she have had?
She's still a rookie.
How old were you?
Senior in high school.
Oh really?
Was
You're
Toomey
probably trying to make moves on the newbie teacher.
Toomey was involved, probably.
Well, Toomey was supposed to drive me around long enough that Pops would be off at work by the time we got home.
Yeah.
But Pops went in late that day.
So they were really amazed at East Catholic, but Daddy and I both went over with him. Didn't we make you apologize?
Probably. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because they never knew of parents that were that.
They don't do that anymore, Gal.
Pardon?
Yeah, I'm sure.
They don't do that anymore.
No,
Parents don't
I
come
know.
in and make their kids apologize.
Yeah, the parents hire a lawyer to sue the teacher. How
Yeah,
dare you say
right.
that
Yeah.
about my child?
Yeah.
Insolent is the last thing he is. Sweet
Yeah.
angel.
Sweet little kid.
Okay, turn the page.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what is this all about?
Oh yeah, this is awesome. This
those
is
are so
awesome.
cool. I
Yeah,
love
how
those.
he has special. Look at, he's got an outline of each wrench, and it tells the size.
I hadn't seen that.
That's
And
the,
then
Oh,
on
yeah.
the garage, let's
Oh,
see,
yeah.
he's keeping track
Yeah, I
of
like
the
the
bike
notes.
mileage on
Really?
all the bikes. He's keeping a running total of the mileage, and then he keeps track of like when stuff was bought. Bought washer, July 7th, 58, model 850R.
he's right when the house
Kept
got
track-
painted, right?
Oh yeah, kept track of when,
yeah, what
kept track of
kind
how
of
many
paint it was,
bags
yeah.
of leaves he
Yeah.
raked each
Yeah.
year.
We should have put that
You
up
haven't
there
kept
today.
up with that, have you?
I know.
But you know what, Bob paints our house like George did, right? One side
One
at a
face,
time.
yeah, that's a good way to do
One
it.
chunk a year.
It's not as intentional though.
No, what did you say? I didn't,
It's like,
I
oh,
didn't get that.
I started painting the house and we haven't finished it.
Oh,
Martha's putting a more
tribute.
positive
Yeah,
spin on it.
Yeah, the unintentional tribute.
We'll get some top half next year. Yeah,
Did
maybe.
George do it one?
Right.
He
One
purposely
face at a
did
time.
one face
Yeah.
per year, so the house was
Yeah.
painted every 4
It
And
years.
was.
the same color so that it all.
Yeah.
Those notes are so cool though on the wall.
Yeah,
figured
that's
out-
awesome.
I mean, some of the ones that you can't make out like 40 years ago. What do you think that he was talking about?
Yeah.
He'd write down some number for
Yeah,
some
that's
part or whatever.
really classic.
Did he do much work on like a car in the garage?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Changing
he
the
changed his
oil.
own oil and all that.
Oh,
He
big
hated
change.
working on cars
Mechanics,
though,
if
didn't
you
he?
wanna-
Yeah, you like
He hated working on cars.
Change the engine. You guys changed the engine in your.
and my Volkswagen once.
So big time work too.